everyone, today I show you how to make some rusty pieces for your journal, and we're gonna start with this aluminum dish which you usually use to prepare food in. It's a bit thicker than normal aluminum foil, so I thought it would be ideal to make this project. First we cut in the corners so we can lay it flat. Press it down a little bit, but there's only so much we can do with our hands because we are going to use the die cut machine to flatten it all the way. So to fit it through the machine, we have to cut it in half. And then we put it on the die cut acrylic plates. Make a little sandwich. And then we squish it through. And you can already see it flattens pretty nicely. It's still quite wrinkly at this point, but we're going to get it flatter. And to approach that, I decided to first cut the edges off. And then after some fiddling around, I came up with using a piece of cardboard. It's not super thick, but it's gonna add a little more thickness to the sandwich and create more pressure that way, so we can get the aluminum foil piece even flatter. And you can see it's already more flat, more shiny. I wanted to add even more pressure, so I used a piece of paper which I folded in half. And you would think it's not much, but it's really helpful. It adds just these few little millimeters that you need for the appropriate amount of pressure to get it really flat. There we go. And it's perfect right now. Of course, it's not going to be perfectly flat, but that's not necessary. I did that to the other half of the dish as well, and now I'm bringing out all the alcohol inks that I have. Different colors, and I also have this alcohol ink set that I got on Amazon. It has a wide array of colors, but I'm looking to make something vintage. So I'm going with yellows and browns. These alcohol inks are super pigmented. They're originally for resin work, but I just dilute them with my clear alcoholic spray that has no pigment in it, and it works perfect for me. So I put a few drops of the brown ink, and then I spray clear alcoholic ink on top, like just alcohol spray. I also have yellow spray, and I just realized it's tinting my fingers quite a lot, so I put on a glove to keep working, and I'm just smooshing colors and spraying browns and yellows, and now a bit of black for a bit more grunge. And I just keep playing with it until I'm happy. I then dry everything with my heat gun. Alcohol ink dries pretty quickly, but heat gun is gonna make it even faster. And then I dab it with a paper towel to make sure there's really no ink on it that's gonna come off onto my fingers or onto my die cut machine. And that's what it looks like. It's quite shiny, but it has the colors that I like. I think you could even have great results with using blue and pink for a mermaid journal or stuff like that. So now I'm taking out all my die cuts that I considered useful for this project. But I mostly wanted the ones that look like this, like label holders that I could fasten onto paper with brads, maybe onto the journal cover. So now I take one of my 2 prepared pieces and I arrange my die cuts on it so that I have, that I get use out of the space, like. And then I can absolutely recommend this die cut set by Tim Holtz, which has label holders as well as that file folder die cut. That's just amazing. It's super versatile set, so I love that one. Yeah, so I just put on all the little pieces that I think I would like to have in metal. And I crank it through my die cut machine. And then it's just a whole lot of taking the pieces out, cleaning them up. If you have very intricate pieces like this one, you might need a little tool or just a needle to push out the little bits and pieces that need to come out. And if you still have problems, if they're not cut all the way properly, just put that one problematic piece on your die cut plate, align the die cut again, make sure it's on it properly, and then just crank that one piece through again. And you will see it's gonna cut better if you just put that piece on its own in there, because if you have various die cut pieces on there, sometimes they're not all equally high, and that the pressure is just distributed not very evenly, and then some just don't cut properly. But now I had no problem pushing out all the little details, and although it's a bit of a time intensive work, it's worth it in my opinion. It looks very intricate and nice. Another die cut tip for you is, if you have very small die cuts, to avoid them from sliding around, just put a piece of washi tape on top to make sure your die cut is not going to slide off. These are tiny die cut pieces from the Tim Holtz set that are just there for the letters, and if you cannot push it out, you can also leave it, and then it's just gonna be embossed if it's not cut properly, and that was fine with me for this one. So here is our first batch, and they're all very shiny. And when I saw them, I thought maybe there is a way to make them look more rusty and matte. So I remembered I had this rust liquid. It's basically an orange acrylic paint with, I assume, very fine sand in it, so you'll have this grainy, rusty texture. I put it on a paper towel and dab it where I want the paint to be. I left the area in the center without paint because I wanted, with the next few pieces, I wanted a mix out of matte and shiny paint to create a rusty but still metallic look. I realized the orange is too flat, so I put some black acrylic paint down, which I recommend you do in the first place. Just start with black, give it a light coat, and then do orange on top as I do now. And that gives you a really cool rusty effect. I'm drying it with my heat gun again. And there you see I have a shiny spot and this rusty area. And I made pieces out of that, and that's what they look like. Some are matte, some are shiny and matte. There's a nice mix. And I hope you have all the fun trying to recreate this project. Just looks awesome in a vintage journal. Have fun!